Kenya, micro and small businesses are the engine room of the economy. They employ millions of Kenyans and fuel growth, but often operating informally, outside of full tax compliance. Now, the KRA says it is changing tack with a new department dedicated to micro and small taxpayers called the Micro and Small Taxpayers Department. But can a new department really change the tax story, or is this another form of pressure on small traders already struggling to survive? Let's unpack it.
Let's talk about tax, or more specifically, Kenya's hard-to-tax group. From street food vendors to mama bloggers to border riders, from mitumba sellers to the small barbershop, Kenya's informal sector is the heartbeat of its economy.
The Kenya Revenue Authority has created two departments in a fresh bid to widen its dragnet to the majority of small traders who have over the years been elusive in complying with various tax provisions, resulting in perennial shortfalls.
This new unit is focused on serving the 1.2 million MSMEs currently in the tax base and facilitating the onboarding of over 5 million more, delivering simpler processes, personalized support, and a fairer and more accessible tax experience.
For years, this group has existed in a kind of economic twilight, vital, visible, but often outside the tax net. Micro and small businesses make up over 80% of all enterprises in Kenya, employing over 14 million people. Despite contributing massively to the economy, many have never filed a return. Not because they're defiant, but because the process simply doesn't fit their reality.
Kila mwaka lazima file before mwezi wa sita. Most nikifile nasikia na file need.
Ni kama mfanyikazi wa kitu kidogo. If any government wants to protect its people, inatoanga hizo tax ndogo kwa wananchi wadogo wenye hawana mapato kubwa.
Hatuwezi kuwa na maendeleo kama nchi kupitia kwa kuokota ushuru kwa mwananchi wa chini.
For Kenya, excluding the informal sector from the tax net is like owning a powerful car engine but never connecting it to the wheels.
When most economic activities sit outside the tax net, policy decisions then are made with incomplete data because a very large part of the economy is invisible to the system. And so the challenge is not just about the lost revenue, it is a structural imbalance that then weakens the fiscal stability and also the social contract which the people have with the government.
For the tax authority, that's both a challenge and an opportunity. Despite reforms, Kenya's tax to GDP ratio remains around 16%, roughly in line with the African average, but well below developed countries.
When the tax rules are not clear and easy for the common taxpayer, it reflects in the tax to GDP ratio. Remember previously, Michelle, we used to have the mantra, kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea. And you could see sometimes back, there was a very high level of compliance. We moved even up to around 18%. So this is a clear sign that the issue is not about the tax rates, it's more about the architecture of the system that needs to be engineered.
The KRA's own data shows that some of its major gains now come from the segment they call micro and small taxpayers. So in March of 2025, the Kenya Revenue Authority quietly created a new unit, the Micro and Small Taxpayers Department, led by veteran tax expert George Obel.
This year we've got a target of about 300 billion that we're going to collect from the emerging taxpayers. We expect that number to grow when we are putting systems in place and we are supporting our taxpayers. So I mentioned before the contribution is about 17 billion only. The actual potential is more than 500 billion. So one thing we are doing there is that we started the journey of the model of agency model. We are calling it Ushuru Mashinani. And what we are going to do in that Ushuru Mashinani is that we are going to identify people with capacity within the ecosystem of our clients.
But it's not just about collecting more revenue. For many MSMEs, the problem starts with understanding. What do you register? What do you file? Then comes the registration, returns, payments, each step adding cost and complexity.
Ni mzuri kama inanipea loan na kuexpand my business.
Kitu kama hiyo wanaleta public participation.
Hii tume ingekuja na another way ya kutueducate. Kitu ya kwanza vile si wenyewe tunaweza make more money.
Of course, the effect on the cash flows. Is it possible that the cost of this compliance does not push the taxpayer out or distress the cash flow of the taxpayer?
In many ways, the KRA is admitting something critical, that for years, tax systems were built like a university lecture for traders who were never given the textbook. It's like asking someone to sit an exam before teaching the subject.
What we've done is currently we are coming up with what we call a workforce management solution. It's actually an IT platform solution so that we can be able to make sure that when they come into your premises, first of all, you are sensitized, but then second is you're then told what is the obligations that you need to have and how you can comply. And we've also offered tools that are available, simplified tools that you can be able to verify those officers. You don't just need to see their badges. When you get the ID numbers and we have given you simplified solution, you can just be able to quickly check on the phone and you can be able to know whether that officer who is before you is a KRA officer or not, just to be able to close gaps that sometimes, people walk into the market and do certain things.
Among the key initiatives is a new KRA chatbot to answer tax questions 24/7.
In future, it will be AI-driven. We already put it in cloud. We are doing 2 months testing, and then we are rolling it out to everybody else. And we're making sure it's available in a platform that anyone can consume it. And that means, therefore, that any of our services or any of our procedures, processes, or even the law will be available in that platform. So you can ask it any question.
Sounds promising. But can Kenya really tax the informal economy without killing the hustle that keeps it alive?
Asking a trader to register and pay taxes without any tangible benefits is something that is a turn-off. So it's important to explain to these taxpayers the benefits of being able to formalize their business.
Kenya citizen, we had been honest to a dishonest government. That is why we don't trust anything that comes up with the name of the government.
So you've seen many cases where you go to a trader's shop and you want to pay through M-Pesa, they tell you withdraw money through the till or through a shop that is next door. It's symptomatic of lack of trust in the way KRA runs its operations.
KRA now says it aims to humanize the process.
We've got to repair the relationship. We must accept that that's an issue we need to repair. So we want to shift and start looking at taxpayers as partners. And how to do it first is to make sure that all our services should be transparent.
It's an approach that echoes across Africa as more countries realize you can't tax what you don't understand. Still, for the average kiosk owner in Kayole or the salon operator in Nakuru, the question remains, will this new approach actually make taxes easier or just new bureaucracy with a friendlier face? I would like to hear your thoughts on that micro and taxpayers department and your expectations from it as well. But understanding tax and policy demands depth and context.